this.
Yes, sir.
But here, the incoming rays will be parallel, but reflected rays will be random like this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you had doubt in rays and beam. Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
like, what do we mean by ray? What do we mean by ray of light? Ray of light is basically,
Sir, ray of light means so many lights coming together.
no, that's beam of light. Okay, no?
Sir, ray of light means only one, one light.
Basically, if you were to talk about ray of light, so the light that is traveling in any given direction, but it should be only in any given one direction in a straight line, that is called a ray of light. A ray of light, a ray of light is the light traveling in
a straight line.
in any one direction, one specific direction, in any one direction in a straight line, you know, a
Yeah.
straight line. So that is what a ray of light.
A
Okay,
ray
so
of light traveling in any one direction in a straight line.
yeah, for example, you have this a ray of light which is traveling in one direction. Okay, now that is one thing. Furthermore, it has a
Sir, ray of light is like the laser beam, right? Laser light.
yeah. You can take the example of that. Okay, no, you can take the example of that. Okay, so a ray of light or light ray is basically basically it would be having a point source of origin. It will be having a source of origin. This will be the source of origin of it. It has a source of origin. Plus, it is moving in one direction. It moves in any one specific direction. One specific direction. So
Yes.
you have just one ray of light here. But if you have a group of light rays, so thereby it will be called a beam of light. It will be called as beam of light. So a group of light ray, a group of light ray is called beam of light. It's called beam of light. So for example, let us take a candle. Let us take a candle flame here. Or let us just take a torch or laser light, for example.
Yeah.
So from this, multiple rays are coming out, like this one, this, and this. All of them have the origin point that this torch
Yeah.
is the origin point. It's the source of origin of these
From
light
the
rays.
torch, the lights are coming. So the torch is the origin.
Exactly. So there are multiple, or they are basically group of rays of light here, group of light rays. Okay, now. So thereby now it is called as beam of light. Beam of light, while this one was the array of light. Array of light. Got this now. So that is the difference. Hope this should be clear. Okay. Okay. Is there any other topic in this context which you are having difficulty in?
No, sir.
Okay. Hope this should be clear. Only you have joined today, others are not there. So we have learned this. Okay, you had other chapters also, like separation of substance, things around us. You have magnets and its properties, and then the chapter getting to know plants also.
Yes.
So from those chapters, I think your exam is in the month of September or in the October month.
Sir, October. It's starting from 13.
13th, no? Okay, so we have time. So instead of going on with what was going on in the batch, that is body movements. So today also we'll be taking up some questions. Okay, now. So we are going to do purely questions only in today's class. All right. Or if you'd like to revise any chapter, do let me know. Yes, Halima.
Sir, can we do revision?
Okay, then let us start with revision then. Okay. So let us start with revision. Which chapter you'd like to revisit? Okay, let's start from the first chapter, right? Let us start from the very first chapter.
Sir, in the exam, most of the questions will be from the HOTS question. So can you just give the HOTS question?
Okay, sure. Okay. So the very first chapter which we did in the bash, it was components of food, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were the things we have learned in the chapter components of food?
Sir, all the vitamins and what all the, I mean, which food contains vitamins and minerals and all.
Good. Okay, so let us start by doing some questions. Where will you be stucking? I will be helping you there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First question here is that since you are saying high order thinking skill questions, so my first question to you is that why is it necessary to have fresh and uncooked vegetables and fruits in our diet? I mean to say, why is it necessary to cook the vegetables and why should we be eating the fresh fruits?
Sir, when, I mean, we have to eat fresh and fresh fruits because if we eat some like 2 or 3 days food, we will get sick and will get some other type of diseases.
Basically, over time, when the food or the vegetable will be left in open, it will start to spoil. Fungi or
Yes,
bacteria will start to spoil it. So when the food is not fresh, so bacteria and other organisms like fungi starts to decompose it. So thereby, when they will be consuming it, it might harm our digestive system. It will not be
yes,
beneficial for us. Okay, that is one thing. Also, after cutting the fruits or vegetables, it is not good. It is not considered good to cut the fruit and vegetable after to wash the fruit and vegetable after it has been cut. Yes.
yes, sir.
No. The question is that after the fruit or vegetable has been cut, then it should not be washed. It should be cut before washing. Why is it so?
Sir, because before washing, I mean, before cutting, we are supposed to wash because the sometimes like if we cut and then wash, some of the vitamins which are necessary for us,
Hmm.
that will that will wash away, and
That will
it is no use for us to keep.
exactly. Okay, now. Okay, here the question is that how are we going to prove that milk contains protein?
Uh, Milk contents, sir, by like when we uh, put some 2 or 3 drops of iodine and then you can just
No. Iodine test is done to check for the presence of starch. That's a different thing,
oh
Halima. Protein for protein test, burette test is done. The procedure here is as follows. Let me just explain the whole procedure. Okay, now. So we are going to do the test, and the name of the test is burette solution test. What is it? BIURET, burette solution
burette
test.
solution.
Okay, were you present while this topic was going on in the class?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, so basically, when we'll be mixing the milk with the burette solution, and if the color turns into light purple or purple color, it is an indication that the milk contains protein. Okay, now.
Yes,
So
sir.
say I have taken a glass of milk in this, and if the color of milk, okay, I have put some, I'm adding some burette solution on it. Let us say I have dropped burette solution is dropped here. Okay, now this is the burette solution that I'm dropping it in a glass
Yes,
of
sir.
milk. Now, if the color of the milk, if it turns into purple or light purple, okay, now purple or light purple, thereby it is an indication that the milk contains protein. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is how we can check for the presence of protein in the milk. You understood this? Okay,
Yes, sir.
now tell me, how will you check whether the rice contains starch or not? How to check?
Sir,
Hmm. Yes, Salima.
sir, you're supposed to put some iodine drops in the rice,
Okay.
and then if the color changes
Your
uh,
voice is stucking a lot, Halima.
sir, if the color changes to bluish,
Black. The color changes to bluish black, then it's an indication that the rice contains starch in it. Okay, now. So first of all, you're going to take the rice water in this. Take the rice water and add few drops of iodine solution in it. Okay, now if the color changes to blue black, thereby it is an indication that the rice contains starch in it. Getting it now? Okay, answer a few more questions. Which vitamin is important for maintaining our good eyesight? Question is that which vitamin is required for maintaining good eyesight? Yes. Lima, are you facing some network issue today?
sir, even your voice is also breaking.
That might be because your network connection is not stable, I think. Am I audible properly or not? Halima, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, the question was that name a vitamin which is required for maintaining the good eyesight. Which vitamin is required for maintaining the good eyesight?
Uh,
Yes. Is it vitamin A, vitamin B, or vitamin C? Yes.
sir, vitamin C.
No. Vitamin A actually. Okay, now it's the vitamin A. Vitamin A is important for maintaining the good eyesight. All right, now keep this in mind. Now tell me which is a mineral which name a mineral which is required for keeping our bones healthy. The question is that name a mineral which is required for keeping our bones healthy. Our bones healthy. Let me give you some options. You'd like to have options for this? Is it iron?
Yes.
Is it calcium? Is it magnesium? Or is it copper? Which is required by our body to keep our bones healthy?
Sir, calcium.
It is calcium. Very good. Okay, no? Okay, also tell me which food contains calcium? Yes. Does which food contains calcium
Sir,
in it?
milk.
Milk. Very good. Milk and cheese. Cheese
Yeah.
is a good source of calcium. Leafy green vegetables like turnip, like a spinach, they have high level of calcium in this. Okay, no? Fish also contains calcium in it, calcium in them. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, so we have done some questions. You like to do more questions or just switch to the revision of the chapter? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's revise the chapter.
Sir, can I do more questions?
Yeah, sure. Then. Okay, from the same chapter, components of food. Okay, I'm writing down some names
Yes.
here. Tell me which one of them is not present in the milk. Okay, now. So calcium, then you have vitamin C, then protein and vitamin
Yes.
D. Question is, which one of them is not present in the milk? Which one of the following component or nutrient is not found in the milk? Yes, Salima. Out of these four options, which one of them is not found in the milk?
Sir, vitamin C.
Exactly. Okay, now it is not found in the milk. Others are present in considerable amount, in good amount. Okay. Okay. Answer one more question. Which disease is caused by deficiency of vitamin D? Due to deficiency of vitamin D,
Sir,
name a disease that is caused due to deficiency of vitamin D.
sir, actually, disease is not coming in the exam.
It's not there. Okay, okay, no issues then. No issue then. Okay, then answer one question to me. That egg has two part in it. One is the yolk, another one is the
Yes.
albumin. Okay,
Yes.
tell me the egg albumin, what is it rich in? And the yolk, what is this rich in? Yes, albumin is rich in.
Sir, yolk is for the protein.
Actually, you're saying the opposite. It's
Albumin is for the protein.
albumin is for the protein. Okay, no, it contains good amount of protein, while yolk contains, they are rich in fat. Okay, no, they are rich in fat.
Fat.
Got, yeah, they are rich in fat. Got this, no? That is one thing. Okay, that's why people who are suffering from obesity, so they will not be recommended to consume this part of the egg. Okay, no? Okay, so we have practiced some questions. There is one more question. Okay, just do one thing. Mention all the components of food. Mention down all the components of the food that is present in it. What are the different components found in the food?
Uh, Components are nutrients, vitamin, um, nutrients,
Nu-
protein.
See, nutrient is not in itself. I mean, that itself is not a component. Okay, now components are as like you have carbohydrate, proteins, fat, minerals, vitamins. These are the components of the food. Water is also a component of the food.
Yes.
Roughage is also a component. Huh? So components of the food are carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, you have protein, fat, vitamin, minerals. Then you have roughage plus water. Now, out of these, which one is not a nutrient? One of these is not nutrient? Nutrient is something that provides you energy.
Yes, sir.
Water does not provide you energy, neither does roughage. So these are not the nutrients, while these are the nutrients. Getting it now?
Yes,
Getting the
sir.
difference between components and a nutrient. Component basically refers to all the things that are present in the food, while nutrient refers to the things or those components that provides you with energy. So this will be providing you with energy and will be helping to build your immune system. Okay. Okay, I have few more questions to you before I start revision of the chapter. Do tell me, how much percentage of the body weight is made up of water? How much percentage of the body weight is made up of water?
95.
No, not 95%. It's the plant's body that contains about 95 to 96% of water. Human body contains about 70% of the water. Okay, now 60 to 70% of the human body is made up of water. Why is it water
Okay.
essential? What is the role of water in the human body? Yes, Alima. Why do we need water?
Sir, water hydrates our body.
Okay. It hydrates our body. Of course, it hydrates our body. But to be specific, what is the function of it? What function does the water perform in the body? And or per se, in what functions it will be helping? Yes, Salima. First thing is that water will be helping us to it will be helping in the process of digestion now, right or no? For digestion is it is important,
Yes,
right? Okay. Also, for the
sir.
transportation of different materials, water is important, right? Now our blood also contains a good percentage of water in it, right? Now
Yes.
our blood contains a good percentage of water in it. About like we get to see like 90% of the blood is basically water, right? Now so 90% of the blood is water, and we know that blood carries everything in it, whether it be the different type of nutrients like vitamins, proteins, minerals, carbohydrate, all of them basically travels in the blood now. So thereby for the blood it is important. Okay, now so for the transportation of the essential components to different cells in our body, water is important. Another function is for transportation of nutrients, water is important. How does the transportation of nutrient occur? It occurs via the blood, and blood is about 90% made up of water.
Yeah.
So if the water content were to decrease, the flow of blood will be disturbed. The blood will not flow properly.
Yes, sir.
Hence, the nutrients will not reach the cells and the person will suffer from disease. Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay, can you also think of some other
Sir,
functions? Yeah.
water is required for the digestion and for the transportation of nutrients. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, some other functions also. Okay, now like for example, if a person is feeling very warm, person is very warm, so thereby we have to drink the water to maintain the body temperature, right now. So it maintains
Yes.
body temperature also. That is also one of the function performed by it. Furthermore, for excretion also water is essential. Suppose if someone is suffering from like constipation or like indigestion, so thereby it is recommended to drink sufficient amount of water, because it also drinking water eliminates constipation. Okay, that was the case
Yes.
of this. Okay, now tell me that which are the energy giving food present in our energy giving component present in the food.
Energy giving is sir. Uh,
Mhm.
energy giving food is that,
Think of it.
sir, vitamin.
No, vitamin does. It's not a energy giving component. Vitamin helps to build your immune system. Yes, Halima. Okay, what are all the nutrients present in the food? You
Sir,
have.
carbohydrate
Okay, there's one more.
and protein,
No,
fats.
fats. Okay, now what are the sources of these? What are the sources of carbohydrate and fat?
Sir, they are energy giving food.
Sources. I'm
I mean,
asking about sources. From where do you get carbohydrate? By eating?
oh, from bread.
Bread from
Rice,
rice and
milk.
maize.
Yeah, maize.
Okay. And potato and sugar. These are the sources of carbohydrate for the body. Oh,
Sugar.
okay. What about fat? We do get fat from
Sir, eggs, yolk.
egg, specifically yolk of the egg and yes. Hmm. Cheese, no? Right? Cheese and then fish meat. And here is for nuts, different type of nuts. Okay, now? Hmm. And here,
Meat.
yeah, oil seeds.
So
Okay,
nuts also have this.
Nuts
So
have
nuts also have a fat in it.
yeah, nuts have fats in it, no? Whether it be the peanut or almond, whether it be cashew nut, all of them have fat in it. Okay, no? Getting it, no? So nut is basically a fruit and it has good amount of fat in it. Okay. All right. Okay. Answer some more questions to me. Which is like which component of the food helps in building the body cells and muscles, etc. Basically, which one of them is responsible for building the cells of the body? My question is that which component of food are called building blocks?
Food are called buildings.
Which component of food are called building blocks of the body? Like it will be helping in building the muscles, bones, skin. Huh? It will be helping in uh, building the muscles, bones, skins, etc. Plus repairing them also.
Calcium.
No, not calcium. It also helps in, let me add one more point. It also helps in repair of damaged tissues. Yes. Cells / tissues. Would you like to have an option here?
Repairing of yes, sir.
Now, what's the correct answer? Yes, Olima? Is it iron, protein, calcium, or none of these?
Sir, what's the A question?
Iron, IRON.
Iron, protein, calcium, none of this. Sir, wait, sir, protein.
It is protein. Okay, now? Got this?
Yes.
Keep this in mind. Okay, now? Okay, now tell me which component of the food improves the immune system?
Immune system.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Think of this. Basically, they are called as protective foods. We call them as protective foods. Yeah, so what are the protective foods? Yes, Salima. Protective fruits contains vitamin and mineral in them now, right?
Yes,
we are talking about vitamins and minerals. Okay, now? And minerals. Okay, now which we get by eating different kind of fruits and vegetables. Okay, now? And they keep us healthy and protect us from different kind of diseases. Okay. So hope you are getting it so far. Okay, let's start the revision of the chapter. We have practiced sufficient number of questions. Okay, and I can say that you can basic concepts are clear. Just need a little bit of revision in some areas. All right now.
Yes.
First of all, let us understand what is nutrient. In the chapter component of food, let us understand what is nutrient. So you define what you understand by nutrient.
Sir, nutrients is they are the energy. No,
Any topic which I am
they
going to
they
explain
provide
first.
energy, sir.
Okay, then what about minerals? What about vitamins? They are not considered as energy giving food, but their function is to protect us, to improve the immunity and protect us from diseases.
Yes.
We have to talk about all of them. When we talk about nutrient, carbohydrate is a nutrient, fat, vitamin, mineral, all of them is a nutrient. Basically, nutrients are the substances that an organism will be needing for the growth, for the repair, and for maintenance of the body. Okay, na?
Yes.
So nutrients are the substances. Have you prepared the notes or not, Halima?
Sir, new components of food is in the other note.
Okay. So that an organism needs for the growth, for repair, and maintenance of the body. Maintenance here means that maintenance here will refer to the protection of the body from diseases. Okay, na? And maintenance of the body. That is one thing. And our body has five major nutrients. Like the food that we eat, it contains five major nutrients in it. Okay, now what are the five major nutrients present in the food?
Vitamin,
Hmm?
minerals,
Yes,
carbohydrate,
good.
um, vitamin, nutrients, carbohydrate, protein, and
Okay,
fat.
good. So we have carbohydrate, then we have fats. Okay, then we have
Protein,
proteins, then vitamins
vitamin, and minerals.
and minerals. Good. The first two nutrients have been classified as energy giving component of the food. Okay, now so
Yes.
they provide us with sufficient amount of energy. While protein is said to be the building block, okay, now they are called as building block because they help in the building of the muscles, bones, tissues, cells, etc. While vitamin and minerals they are called as protective food. What do we call them? We call them as protective
Protective food.
because it offers us protection against the diseases and improves our
Yes.
immune system. Talking about carbohydrate, you explain to me first of all what do you understand by carbohydrate. Okay, now then I will be helping you in this.
Sir, carbohydrates. Um, like, sir, should I give the examples of it?
First of all, explain this. Okay, now then later on we'll be giving the examples of the food which will contain it. Okay, now.
Um, so carbohydrates are energy giving food.
Okay, they are energy giving food. Very good. And
And
yes, carbohydrates. We know that they are the energy giving food. Their main function is to provide energy to the body, and they are found in our body, or we get them in the form of sugar and starch. We get them in the form of sugar and starch. Okay, now, and they
yes,
are
sir.
found in the different kind of foods like fruits. Different kind of fruits contain carbohydrate, bread, rice, potato, sweet potato, etc. Okay, now that is one thing. Then carbohydrates can be of two types further. We have complex carbohydrate, you have simple carbohydrates. Okay, now. But nonetheless, carbohydrate are energy giving food. How do we check for the presence of carbohydrate?
Presence of carbohydrate.
Yes. Like for example, starch is one of the type of carbohydrate, right?
Yes, sir.
And we can do the iodine test to check for its presence now.
Yes, sir.
Getting it? That is the thing. So carbohydrates, or in short, by the way, many times it is called as carbs also, CARBS.
Yes,
Okay. So carbohydrates are basically the energy giving component present in the food which our body will be requiring to obtain energy out of it. Okay. Now, furthermore, what happens basically once we have eaten a food that is rich in carbohydrate, so that carbohydrate is broken down into glucose. Okay. Now, so the main source
yes,
of energy for our body is actually glucose here. So let's say you have
yes,
eaten sweet potato, and sweet potato contains carbohydrate in it.
yes,
So when I eat it, so in my body, what will be happening? This carbohydrate is first of all in the process of digestion. The carbohydrate is this carbohydrate will be converted into glucose first of all, and that in fact takes place in the small intestine, by the way. Okay, so it is
yes,
converted into glucose. Now this glucose will be further broken down. Further, it is broken down to obtain energy out of it. With the help of oxygen, this glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen, and as a result, we get energy out of it. Okay, now energy is
yes,
obtained. That is the thing, that is what basically happens. Okay, now so glucose is the main source of energy for our cells. Okay, that is what carbohydrate. Also, if you can recall, I did told you in the chapter about the different types of carbohydrates. So there are mainly three main, there
two,
are there are three main types of carbohydrates. Okay, now there are, usually we say that there are three types of carbohydrates. Okay, now one is sugar, another one is starch, or the third one we can count this as fibers. Okay, so there are
yes,
usually three types of carbohydrates. Okay, now also like in
sugar, starch,
Mhm.
and
Fibers. Okay,
okay,
now so carbohydrates, as in moments ago I was also telling you one thing, that one of them is the simple carbohydrate, another one is
yes,
the complex carbohydrate.
complex carbohydrate.
Complex carbohydrate. Getting it? Now the simple carbohydrates, the examples of simple carbohydrates are as follows. I mean to say the simple carbohydrates like glucose, it's a simple
Yeah,
carbohydrate. Then for example, fructose, it is a simple carbohydrate. Getting it? Now
what,
glucose,
sir?
fructose,
Oh,
fructose. Okay, now that is one example. Or like sucrose, all these are in fact a type of simple carbohydrate. But
yes,
for ease in understanding, just understand all of these are the names of different type of carbohydrate. So whenever
yes,
you get to hear this term glucose, instantly you should click it, that okay, right now this is the example of carbohydrate. Fructose, that is also example of carbohydrate, or whether it be sucrose. Okay, then talking about the
yes,
complex carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrates examples are starch, it's a complex carbohydrate. Fiber, it is also a complex carbohydrate. Getting it now? So starch or fiber, these are complex carbohydrate,
yes,
while glucose, fructose, and sucrose, these are simple carbohydrate. But nonetheless, all of them are simply carbohydrate. Okay, now all of them are simply carbohydrate, and all of them will be providing you with energy. Okay, now so whether you are eating a food that contains starch, or whether it contains glucose, or whether it contains fructose, or contains fiber in it, all of them will be providing you with energy. Okay, now
yes, sir.
now if we were to talk about the test for carbohydrate, how do we check for the presence of carbohydrate, or specifically test of
Sir,
starch?
You iodine test.
Iodine test is done. Good. We know how it is done. Okay, na? So there's no need to revisit that again since we already know about it. Okay, now. Next, we learned about fats, right?
Yes.
So fats are also the component, or also another. These are the. This is another nutrient that provides us with energy. Okay, now. In fact, they are said to provide us more energy than the carbohydrates. Getting it now?
Yes.
Okay. So fats will also be of different types. Fats are also of different types, by the way. Okay, now. They are
Yes.
saturated fat and then they are simpler
And
fats.
unsaturated fat.
Unsaturated fat. Okay, no, very good. So the different kind of animal-based food that you eat, that humans eat, whether it be the beef, poultry meat, or some of the dairy products like egg, they contain saturated fat in them. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes what happens now, they are called as saturated because when they will be stored in the house now, they become, sometimes they become solid fat. Okay, now like you might have
Yes.
observed this thing that many times, like the gravy of the like if a meat is cooked at home, so the gravy sometime, if it contains too much of fat, the gravy becomes solid sometimes. Have you observed that?
Yes, sir.
You have. Good. So
Yes.
that is because it contains saturated fat. Saturated fat are found in the animal-based foods. Okay, now like a different kind of like beef meat or poultry or different kind of dairy products. In the egg also it is found. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is the thing. Hope you are getting it. Okay. Then we have the unsaturated fat, like it will be found in the, for example, olive oil,
Plant.
in the plant-based products. Okay, na?
Yes.
So unsaturated fat will be found in plant-based products. Okay, different kind of oil seeds will have unsaturated fat in it. Okay, na? Furthermore, for example, olive oils or canola oils, different kind of vegetable oils contains unsaturated fat. Okay, nuts contain unsaturated fat. Beans or fish liver also contains unsaturated fat in it. So which one is healthy?
Yes.
Actually, doctors recommend us to avoid usage of saturated fat. That's why the
Yes.
consumption of meat is usually discouraged by the doctor because it contains saturated fat. Okay, no? And we also know that saturated fat, it basically leads to increase in the cholesterol level. And if someone is consuming too much of meat, animal-based meat, basically meat, so thereby in a long span of time, his arteries will be getting clogged and he might suffer from heart attack. Okay. So what we learned, it is a
Yes.
energy giving component, of food. Next, we learned that it provides us with less or more energy than carbohydrates.
Sir, more energy.
More energy, very good. It provides us
More energy than carbohydrates.
more energy than carbs.
Carb.
Oh, okay, good. Then we learned that it is of two types. One is
Saturated and unsaturated fat.
saturated fat. Another one is unsaturated fat.
Unsaturated.
Okay, let's take an example. Okay, if you were to take a animal fat, like I gave the example earlier, you might have seen that if meat is cooked, some meat is cooked, and if that meat has some fat in it, so the gravy will become solid after some time. Like
Solid.
if you were to put it in a refrigerator.
Yes.
But let's say you have taken mustard oil, which is a vegetable oil. Does it ever
Yeah.
saturate and become solid?
No, sir.
Okay, so there you can understand it with this example. Okay, so
Yes.
saturated fat, they are found in animal
Animal-based.
they are animal-based fat, while they're found
Yeah.
in the plant.
Plant-based.
Plant-based fat are there. Examples are, for example, this or like poultry, meat,
Yeah.
egg, etc.
Mm.
Plant plus we can count in this as fish also. Fish also has unsaturated fat. Okay, now thereby like a person suffering from cholesterol problems, the doctor will be recommending them to replace the red meat with the fish. Replace the animal based meat like the beef with the fish. Okay, now. So we have example of olive oil,
olive oil, mustard
mustard
oil.
oil, canola,
Yeah,
avocado, or fish liver oil. So these
liver oil.
contain unsaturated fat. Okay, now. So hope this should be clear.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, how do we test for the presence of fat in a given food? Talking about the test, you go on to explain this first, and then I'll be helping.
Sir, for fat test will take
Yes. Take a piece of paper.
oh
Then
uh uh
yes, Salima. Then what next we should do?
sir, you'll just have to like
Take any food that contains oil in it or that has a oil in it. Okay,
yes,
now.
like start nuts,
Yeah, you can take nuts. Good.
and then you just fold that piece of paper and just you can just crush it. And then if that contains oil, some of the oil particles will be present.
Okay, so basically we are going to take a piece of paper, wrap it around a small quantity of food item like a nut or some other food item that contains oil in it. Then crush it, then allow the paper to dry. And if you see an oily patch on the paper, okay, na? You see an oily patch on the paper, and if you were to hold that paper against the light, against some tube light or a bulb,
Yes, sir.
and if it light passes through it, so thereby it's a proof that the food contains fat in it. Getting it?
Yes.
That is the way. Okay, so this was another energy giving food which we have learned. Talking about vitamins, what are the vitamins? What role do they perform? Okay, let's understand about proteins first. Then we'll be continuing with this. Okay, now proteins. Yeah, what is protein? What is their function?
So protein, they help us to protein help us to give energy to the bone. They form the tissues.
All right.
And
Yes.
they keeps the bone healthy.
They keeps the bones healthy. Usually the
Yeah.
minerals helps in keeping the bones healthy, not proteins usually. And okay, let me help you on this. What we know about proteins, that proteins are helping to responsible for the growth of the body and for repairing of the damaged tissues of the body. Okay,
Yes.
now their main function is growth and repair. So thereby they are also called as building blocks. Okay, now. So
Yes.
main function of protein is growth and repair. Whether it be the growth of the different kind of cells in our body, like whether it be the hair cells, muscle cells, bone cells, so it will be helping. Okay, now. So one of the main
Yes.
function is help the body to grow
Grow.
plus repair.
Yes.
Growth here will be referring to the referring to the repairing, referring to the different kind of cells in our body. Okay. In fact, every cell has protein in it. Every cell that we see in our body, it contains protein in it. Okay, now whether it be the cells of muscles, bones, or hair, all of them contain protein in it. Okay, that is one thing.
Yes.
So protein forms the basic structure of every cell in the human body. So thereby it is essential for the growth and development of every cell in the body. That is one thing. Furthermore, another function, as we were talking about repair. So if a tissue or a cell gets damaged, so thereby it will be repaired with the help of the protein. That is one thing. So it helps in the damage. It helps in the repairing of the damaged cells and tissues.
Cells.
That is one
Yes.
thing. Okay. Furthermore, other functions of protein, like it can act as an energy source for the body also. Okay, now one extra fact about protein is that it can act as energy source of the body also. Like when the
Yes.
body is in need of energy apart from fat, it can utilize the protein also to obtain energy. Got this now?
Yes.
Also, what if I were not to get enough protein in our body? So thereby,
Sir, the damaged tissue, I mean, the damaged cells and tissues will not be repaired
okay.
and will not get enough energy,
Hmm.
will be weak, the cells won't grow.
Good. Basically, there will be a lack of growth.
Yeah.
Muscle mass will go down. You will be losing lots of muscles in the body. Your
Yes.
immunity will also be damaged. Your immunity will become weak.
Yes.
The heart
You'll be
muscles. Mhm.
you'll be lazy and you won't get up from the bed.
Yeah. Also, we see that it will be weakening our heart also and can lead to some respiratory problems also. Getting it now? So
Yes.
protein is very much essential, especially it is important for a growing baby. For the growth of a baby, it is important. Furthermore, protein is important for the pregnant women as well. Getting it now? So there we get to
Yes.
see that every cell in the human body, it contains protein. In fact, the basic structure of the cells contains protein in it. And we need the protein in our diet to help our body repair the cells and make new cells as well. These are the different functions of the
Yes.
protein. That is one thing. Talking about how do we test for the presence of protein. In fact, moments ago in the very first question, I think I asked with the same question I asked. So how do we test for the protein? Yes, remember that, Halima? How do we test for the presence of protein?
Sir, you um
Yes.
it starts with
Yeah, I have given some hint here. It starts from B. It's the B-rate test now.
yeah. Beretus.
B-rate test. Okay, now. So you do the B-rate test. So say for example, you have taken milk or any other food that contains protein in it. Take a solution of that food sample, put some drops of B-rate solution. If the
Yes.
color changes to
The bluish black.
no purple
No,
or light purple.
sir,
Purple
that
or,
will be bluish black, right?
no, that will be in the case of the iodine, no?
Oh yeah.
That was the case of the iodine. What I said that you have taken a glass of milk. Milk contains protein. The color changes to purple or light purple.
Yes.
Okay, no. So that's the indication for presence of protein. Okay. Okay. So we did learn about protein as well. Few basic things about protein. What is its
Yes.
role? How do we check for its presence? Okay. Then talking
Yes.
about vitamins and minerals. Yes.
Sir, vitamins are
By the way,
essential for our
one. Let me stop you there. What are the sources of protein? There are two sources of protein. One from plant-based, and another one is animal protein also.
yeah.
So, what are the examples of proteins that we get from the plant and the animals? Which food?
Protein from the plant will get green leafy vegetables.
Not necessarily. No,
Sir, it is there, right?
it is, but in very small quantity.
Oh,
We have, for example, moong. You know about moong? Moong,
yeah.
moong, soya bean, huh?
Yeah.
Almond. Okay, no, almond, gram. Do you
Huh.
eat all these or not?
Yes, sir.
I
Sir, I
heard,
don't eat almond. I don't like it.
but you should be eating it. Okay, no, at least one or two almond daily. Then animal based, we have
Um,
most common milk,